This is Simone Haubner with People magazine. Breaking news, Robert Pattinson will be given the 2020 Oscar Award for Best Actor under the sci-fi film category due to his recent work in the film Tenet. Let's get into how the celebrity made his name in the acting industry. Starting off with his parents, Rob's mother, Claire, was a model agency worker in London before and after he was born. His father, Richard, was a vintage car importer. The two both grew up in England and married and met each other at the young age of 16. After marriage, Claire and Richard had two young girls, Victoria and Lizzie, and a young boy, Robert. As a child, Rob was blessed with parents that had dependable income and love for all of their children. By age 7, Rob was attending the Tower House School in London, a private all-boys school. However, not long after, Rob's parents grew concerned for him since he wasn't the best student, as he was rarely turning in his work, was always the class clown, and performed badly on tests. With this, they decided to enroll him into another school, the Herodian School, which was based in London. This school was a lot smaller and had fewer students than Rob's previous one. Nonetheless, Rob admitted to liking it much better. Due to Rob's mother's occupation, Rob had a lot of opportunities for acting and modeling agencies to notice him. As he grew into his teenage years, Rob started to get involved in lots of sports activities due to his parents' request. However, he wasn't very fond of any of them, so he stopped participating, and his father then urged him to pick up a different hobby. This is when acting came to mind. When he was just 13, Rob had joined the local amateur theater called Barnes Theatre Company after his father convinced him to do so. His first role was in Vanity Fair, which was filmed in 2004, starring Reese Witherspoon. However, his scene got cut from the movie, and he was no longer cast, which made Pattinson debate on quitting acting. Nonetheless, his father wanted him to keep his head up and pursue this dream of his, and his father's pep talk must have impacted him quite a lot because now Rob says this about acting.
Once I'm doing a job, I'm very concentrated on it. It's the only thing I want to do. I don't want to finish the day and go and hang out with somebody else. I'm in an area to do that job, and that's it.
About 1 year later, Rob was cast as Cedric Diggory in the hit series Harry Potter within the collection's fourth film, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. This was the role that paved the way for Pattinson's success, as many acting agencies began to notice him. 3 years later, Rob was cast as the romantic interest of Bella Swan in the series Twilight, which was also another hit. Now that he's had more experience within the industry, Rob has a rather unique outlook when he's trying to get in the zone for acting. Here's an interview in which he explains his method when he filmed The Devil All the Time.
I mean, yeah, definitely. Every single time I start a movie, I just feel like I have no idea how to act. Like, it's just kind of, it only really seems to come together. You need the adrenaline of kind of, yeah, I think you need to feel like a total failure. You feel your absolute worst the day before.
Yeah.
From there on, Rob has been in a diverse range of film genres, all the way from romance to thrillers and sci-fi movies. In one interview, Rob has said to want to play even more bizarre and challenging characters in order to build his acting evolution.
And I sort of quite flippantly said at the end of one of the meetings, I was like, look, basically all I want to do is like stuff that's like really, really weird and crazy. And the next day he said like, oh, yeah, me and my brother are working on this thing. Like, and I think if this isn't crazy enough, like, I don't know what to tell you. And I read it and I was like, yeah, this is pretty wild.
Overall, Rob has so far been in 50 films and is looking to build his career much further, whether it's just a one-time appearance or the main character, which goes to show that he's up for any level of intensity and screen time. Once again, this is Simone Haubner with People magazine, and thank you so much for listening to my story on Robert Pattinson, the new Batman.